Okay, I have what's realistically probably an autistic hyperfixation on the US government, which means that I spent the last 26 years of my life studying declassified FBI and CIA documents for fun. And if you understand these three concepts, you will probably know more about politics than the average person walking around the world today. So let's get into what they are. Number one, first and foremost, you need to understand that there is absolutely nothing the United States government would not do if it thought that it would advance its interests politically, militaristically, or economically. No act is too depraved, no death toll is too high. We would do absolutely anything. The example I always give people of this is that the United States seriously considered bombing Miami just so we could blame it on Cuba and use it as justification to overthrow their government. We did not reject this idea because we thought it was ethically bad. We rejected it because we decided it was not strategically advantageous. So you need to really understand this. Nothing is too far for the United States government. This also includes propaganda. The propaganda reaches way further than you even can imagine. Major news outlets, independent student zines. The US government will spend billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year on disinformation campaigns to control the narrative so you believe what's advantageous for them to believe. It sounds conspiratorial. It sounds like something kooky people who wear tinfoil hats would say. It is true. The tinfoil hat people are right. This is all fact. Yeah. Okay, number two, the US government is not particularly creative. There are a few playbooks with a few plays in them, and we stick to them and repeat them over and over and over again. And once you learn what those plays look like, you cannot help but see them around you in real time constantly. The best example I give of this is something I call big bad, not our guys. This happens when another country has a resource that we want and they will not give it to us. The first thing we will do is utilize those propaganda networks to spread a lot of bad information about the leader of that country. We will blow him up into what we call a big bad. He is an evil man doing evil things. He is a bad, bad person. Sometimes we will outright lie in the pursuit of this. We will make it look like he is committing massive human rights abuses. Sometimes we will find key social issues that maybe he is not super progressive on, and we will push forward a narrative about those social issues that advances our own causes. Even as we are not particularly progressive about social issues here at home, we will throw everything we can at making that person, that leader of that country, or just that country in general, their government structure, into a big bad. Simultaneously, we will find people in that country who might be sympathetic to the American business cause there, or who are willing to do anything for the right price. And we will funnel them massive amounts of money, weapons, and training, even sometimes training right here on domestic US soil, in order to convince them to stage a coup and overthrow the government of that country, then install a new government in its place, usually with those people or people who are sympathetic to their cause, who happen to conveniently act as a puppet government doing the US's bidding. Now, all of a sudden, we get access to all of the resources we wanted in that country that the previous government administration would not give us. But we are not liable for it because we did not go in as the US government or as the US military to overthrow them. The people who did that, those are not our guys. They're just some random people. Even though in actuality, they're not random people. They are our guys and we paid them to do this. Okay, number three, this is going to be the one that upsets most of you, but it's true. Pretty much all of contemporary American political history can be summed up as a battle between fascism and communism. Fascism is not just a scary thing you don't like. It is a specific political and economic system. Just like capitalism is, just like communism is, so is fascism. The thing about fascism, though, is that where communism is bad for capitalism, it's bad for Western business. Fascism is actually advantageous economically for Western business. Capitalism can profit off of fascism. Because of that, capitalists will condone and facilitate fascism whenever they can. Communism, however, does not profit from fascism. And that is why historically it is communists that have always defeated fascism. We saw this in Italy, we saw this in Germany. And if you're an American and you're thinking, wait a minute, I thought the USA defeated Nazi Germany, Nazis were fascists, you are wrong. It was the USSR, and you only believe that because of the first thing I mentioned, the propaganda networks. In fact, the United States did not want to fight Nazi Germany, and we only ended up joining the war against Germany because Germany attacked Britain, who was one of our allies, so we were contractually obligated to join. Okay. The USSR actually tried to get capitalist countries to join them in fighting the fascists in Germany, and we all said no. Following World War II, the communists attempted to catch and prosecute all of the Nazis from Germany, and the capitalist countries, including the United States, gave them safe passage to avoid being held liable for their crimes and set them up with new cushy government jobs here in the United States. That was under something we called Operation Paperclip. Now, because the United States does not actually mind fascism, and in many ways we envy it, we will attempt to ideologically distance ourselves from fascism because it is a bad look by trying to confuse and muddy the narrative and claim that fascists and communists are somehow the same, even though this is Factually untrue, and communists, again, are the only force in history, historically, who consistently has stood up against fascism. In fact, we in the United States will often use fascists in other countries as examples of not our guys, give them massive amounts of money and weapons and training, and use them to help do things in their home countries that we consider politically and economically advantageous for us to continue to profit off of. All of modern human history can best be described as the communists attempting to defeat the fascists, while the capitalists look on and go, oh no! Publicly condemning it, but assisting fascism behind closed doors. Full disclosure, I am a communist. I'm not telling you this though, because I am a communist. I became a communist after I learned about this. In the fight between fascism and communism, do you choose to be a fascist, a communist, or somebody standing on the sidelines going, oh no, while not actually materially doing anything that impedes fascism from spreading or growing? If you wonder why the United States government does not seem that upset at stopping the advancement of fascism internationally or at home, this narrative will help you understand exactly why. We don't want to. We profit off of it. Because the communists are the only ones that do not profit off of it, they are the only ones actively trying to defeat it. If you understand these 3 things about politics, you will know more than the average person walking around the world today. But fair warning, when you tell them, they will look at you like you are out of your mind. Because if there is one thing the United States does well, it's propaganda. Business is booming.
I'm so happy it's coming from a girl. Yes, a lady. I'm very happy it's coming from a lady. She summarized everything that we need to know.